like in the main event was an excitement and a unexpected surprise, which I'm probably going to see some new tag team champions probably in person less than 24 hours from now. But that we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, this is the NXT review. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. And we're going to start off with Von Wagner and Robert Stone in their match against the Metaphors Noam Dar and Oro Menza. But they decided to start the match early by getting into a backstage brawl, beating the absolute sugar honey iced tea out of them until they got into the ring. And it started off with Von Wagner and Oro Menza, with Von Wagner hitting a big shoulder tackle right onto Menza. This is where we got him doing a flying flapjack, right, pop-up flapjack right onto Oro Menza. Tags in his manager, Von Wagner tags his manager, what's his name? Robert Stone, that's who it was. This is where he spin Oro Menza around, hit a big backbreaker or slidewalk slam. We had Robert Stone hits a forward single axe handle. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but Menza kicks out at 2.5, I believe. And yeah, I would say I would give this match the third match of the night because the main event is definitely getting number one, and two, the second match will be Mello versus Gacy. So I'll give that because they put on one heck of a performance themselves as well, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. But yeah, this was the third match of the night. Even for being a low mid-card feud, it still delivered successfully. Even though I'm not sure if I should agree with the match finish, but it was a pretty entertaining match. And I was impressed with Robert Stone bringing the fight to the Heritage Cup winner, Heritage Cup trophy champion, and his main man, Oro Menza, along with his client, Von Wagner. Yeah, because when Oro Menza Irish whipped him right to the upper left corner, this is where he started hitting right hands repeatedly right onto the current Heritage Cup champion. This is where he went right on Menza when he tried to charge at him. But he gets instantly gets a rolling front flip kick by Menza. This is where Menza was and take this. This is where he hit a stomp right to the back of Robert Stone. This is where he Irish whipped him right to his corner. This is where he started stomping on him as soon as he tags in or Noam Dar, where Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson was like, yeah, give him what he deserves, beat him up. And I was thinking what are y'all doing here? And then this is where Noam Dar starts stomping. This is where he starts hitting right hands, big European uppercuts. This is where Noam Dar is like, this is why I am the greatest into this division. And this is where it grabs on the Robert Stone's head. This is where Irish whipping right back on the upper right with him right behind him, on the middle ropes. Start hitting elbow strikes right into the head of Robert Stone. This is where the referee's like, all right, y'all bounded on the rope, so I would stop if I was you, which he did his 5-second warning count, which only got the 2. This is where Noam Dar's like, okay, I'll let go. This is where he started taunting Von Wagner, and I was like, you do not want to do that. Even though he's a cool guy, and he don't seem like once you're if you talk to him personally, he's not gonna look like a guy who harm you. But when you provoke him, he definitely do looking like if you just stole millions of dollars from him, because that's what it looked like on NXT when he provoked the future main event, WrestleMania main eventer. This is where he went up and Von Wagner's like, what, you want a piece of me now? Yeah, you better hope that I'm gonna get tagged in. This is where Oro Menza then attacked what's his name? While the referee was trying to hold back Von Wagner from killing Noam Dar metaphorically. And Oro Menza would start stomping onto what's his name? Robert Stone until Noam Dar came in, hit a back suplex. Referee saw this, went for a pin, but Robert Stone kicks out at one even. This is where he start wrist locking Robert Stone's left arm. This is where fans start chanting, let's go Stone, let's go Stone. As soon as he as soon as he got him into a guillotine headlock position until Robert Stone pushes him right to Noam Dar's own corner in the upper left, which that was not a smart idea because he get instantly tagged in by Menza, which they double teamed with him, snap marrying him, and then Menza hits him with that striking knee shin right into the face. This is where he tried to go for a pin after doing a little taunting, but he got a 1 even count, just like his leader and his best friend Noam. This is where we had Menza then grab onto him by hitting a couple of forearms right into his right arm. This is where Irish whip him right in the upper left. This is where Menza tags in Noam Dar. This is where he hits a step up instigiri right onto Robert Stone. This is where Noam Dar hits that reverse STO right onto him. This is where he tried to go at 2 even. This is where Noam Dar's like, okay, what other move I should do to him? Like, maybe I should go with my finisher move. No, then again, like, I'll be too soon. Like, I want to savor this moment. This is where he did just that. This is where he tried to that's where he picks him right back up. We're about to go for a bear hug, but he throws him right to back in his corner in the upper left. Tags in Menza. This is where he had him punch him right in the gut. This is where Noam Dar got tagged in by Menza. This is where we had Robert Stone hit a big hip toss right over the top rope, sending Menza crashing down right into the left corner side of the ringside area. I was like, damn. Like, I did not know Robert Stone had that power. He definitely must have been training with Von Wagner from the past week. And he did the same thing with Noam Dar when he tried to suplex him off the corner. This is where Robert Stone had a chance to try to tag in Von Wagner. This is when Von Wagner got tagged in. This is where he was face to face with this arch rival of this feud, Noam Dar. This is where every time Noam Dar tried to strike a punch the left or right, this is where he's unfazable. This is where he's like, starts screaming like, there's nothing you can do. Thank you, Birdie. Thank you, Birdie. Pizza. But this is where Noam Dar comes right from the right corner side. This is where Von Wagner hit him with a big boot. This is where we got Noam. What's his name? Von Wagner do a double 100 suplex. Thank you so much, Miss Grizzy. And baby, this is where we got a choke slam with. Yeah, really? Yeah, thank you so much. But this is where he thought he to go for a choke slam with Noam Dar. This is where he got him in position. This is where Menza tried to save his boss. This is where he gets choked in the choke slam position. This is where Von Wagner hit a double choke slam right on the both men. This is where Von Wagner's like, let's go. This is where he tags in his manager, his name, Robert Stone. That's where he lifted him up in midair. This is where Robert Stone hits a crossbody splash, which is a former Ultimate Comeback move in 2023. But only got a 2.99999. 0.1 away from being scoring. Yeah, he was so close. You know what? No, he didn't kick out. Let me rephrase that. He nearly got the 3 on Noam Dar, but if it weren't for Noam Dar's meddling main man that was doing some meddling and cost Mr. Robert Stone the match, and also Von Wagner as well. But this is where we got. This is where Robert Stone was on the rampage. He was very ticked off that he got screwed out of that moment, and started hitting lefts and rights, started going Super Saiyan mode, and started beating the absolute daylights out of the right hand man of the metaphor leader. This is where he did a huge kick that sent him crashing right into the right corner side. This is where he was the crossbite after tagging in Von Wagner. This was Von Wagner had a big boot right onto Menza as soon as he got onto the apron. Okay, buddy. There you go. But anyways, this is where we got Noam Dar pulls him back over. had him in a sunset foot position. Hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the schoolboy surprise roll up. And he got the 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, not 1, 2, 3. No, it was. No, he kicked out 2.9999999. Double triple 9 minus 0.1 away from me. Jumping up in the process. This is where Noam Dar tried to go for a charge and attack Von Wagner, but Von Wagner hit him with a big boot. This is where he tried to go for a jackknife powerbomb right under Noam Dar. But this is where Oral Menza hit the chop block right onto him after Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend was distracting the referee. Like, he was gotten away with it, went for the meddling metaphor, right? But this is where Noam Dar got the win by grabbing on his leg after having put his legs right over the head of Wagner and got the 1, 2, 3. And your winners, Noam Dar and Oral Menza, his main man, of course. 2/4 of metaphor. But what are your thoughts on this match? Do you think it was the third match of the night, just like me, or do you think it was first or second? Let me know in the comments down below. But I'll say either way, like I still think that Von Wagner should be the one that dethrone Noam Dar for his Heritage Cup and be the one that can then beat him for good, like with that trophy. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. But it's just my opinion, at least for now. But we're gonna move on to the next slide and the vignette with Ilya Dragunov saying he wants Carmelo Hayes. You come here, right now. But instead of having Carmelo Hayes, it was Dijak, which they got into a physical altercation. We finally did have Carmelo Hayes, but when he came out the second time after he said, "Nah, I'm going to say it later," which he explained why he betrayed Trick Williams at Vengeance Day, and he admitted that he is the attacker of the former North American champion. And it also showed the recap when Ilya Dragunov defeat Dijak last week, but Carmelo Hayes attacked him from behind and hit him with the NXT championship. Here's where we got. But yeah, next up we got on the next slide we have. This is where we got the return of Chase U, and I was like, I was like, hallelujah! Like me and Simon Miller can finally enroll in this university as soon as we join WWE, and we can learn some educational stuff about their pro wrestling in WWE's fictional university of Chase U. But yeah, this is where what's his name decided to use some profanity, non-PG words, saying Chase U is back, and it's all thanks to JCMF and Jane. Like, give it up to her. And this is where fans, this is not the fans, the Chase U students were cheering like JC, and this is where Thea Hale remembered that she had a date with Valentine's date with her new boyfriend, like on screen, of course, because if it wasn't, then Nathan Frazier would be very pissed. But anyways, this is what. But yeah, like she had a date with Riley Osborne. That's what his name is, and yeah, which I'm not sure if they had any segments or even vignette of them being going on a dinner date, like for considering tomorrow night's Valentine's Day. But yeah, because they asked each other if they want to be each other's respective Valentines, like back from this past, like a week from this past Sunday at Vengeance Day. This is where we got. That's where Adriana Rizzo was collecting a payment from JC Jane, which she was like, here's the next payment. This is where Adriana Rizzo like, thank you. Like, it's awfully extra heavy, and this is where she's like, oh, I add some extra because we've been doing very successful, like triple time as we expected to be, like in order to pay this debt. Like, but we managed to keep it up, like, and for a token of our appreciation, like or no, like she said, like if you want to repay us, like how about like as soon as the D'Angelo family retains their NXT Tag Team Championships, like why not give Chase and Hudson a shot? Tell your boys, tell your brothers, I should say, rephrase that, like D'Angelo and Stacks, to give Andre Chase and Duke Hudson a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championship. And she was yeah. And this is where and this is where she was like, okay, yeah, and this is where she got convinced, and this is where she was like, all right, like we can see what we can do, but yeah, we can make that happen somehow, one way or another. But this is where we got the gauntlet match with Ridge Holland, a 3-on-1 handicap gauntlet match to be the exact, which it was Ridge Holland going out there alone against all three members of the Gallus family. Luckily, not all at once, but one at a time, because this is where because Ava Rain did say it, or just Ava, I should say. My apologies. But yeah, like Ava just said, like she can give him one at a time, and if he lose any of the matches, whether it's to Wolfgang, Mark Coffey, or Joe Coffey, then he's done with his rivalry between Tony D. I mean not Tony D. I mean the Gallus boys, which I'll say. Luckily, I don't think that was the absolute case like of tonight's match between the Scottish brothers and the former British rugby player. But anyway, this is where we got. This is where we start off with Wolfgang taking on Ridge Holland. This is where Wolfgang got the first offense onto the former Brawling Brutes member. Started kneeing him in the gut. This is where he took off his Gallus shirt and started throwing it in his face and hit him with a big knee to the face. This is where he starts stomping onto him in the lower left corner. This is where the referee is like, all right, like that's too much right there. This is where Wolfgang was like, whatever, like I don't care what you say. Like if I didn't have to worry about beating him and for him to leave us alone, like I wouldn't care if I got DQ'd. But this is where he started grabbing onto his face. This is where he's like I'm gonna give you what you asked for. And this is where he started hitting big clotheslines. And I was like, I'm not sure if he ever asked that. All he wanted is the match to prove that he's better. He's better than he was for the past couple of years. Which the storyline is that he blames himself for causing injuries and botches, like especially the one particular being with his match against Big E. Which, not trying to bring it up negatively, just saying because it's all part of the storyline. But that's the only time you're gonna catch me saying that, because I'm not negative Nancy. This video is all about being a positive Pete in general. But anyway, this is where we got Ridge Holland hits a big STO right on the Wolfgang. This is where Ridge Holland was like, all right, it's fight night. Like, even though I'm not on that team no more. This is where he slams Wolfgang's face right onto the hardest part of the ring apron, right on the left corner side. This is where he stepped face to face with Joe Coffey. It was Joe Coffey. This is where Joe Coffey's like, I'm ready. Like, you want to jump frog? Like, go ahead and jump across the rock. This referee's like, nope, not this time. Like, you're not yet to be in this match. And this is where Ridge Holland tried to charge at him, but Wolfgang, I believe, hit a big power slam right onto Ridge Holland. This is where he grabs onto the big refrigerator-like wrestler. This is where he started hitting right hands to the face of the Braun Brutes member. This is where Wolfgang was like, what are you going to do now, punk? And this is where Ridge Holland started hitting big right hands right into the ribs of Wolfgang, but he hit him with a big headbutt that sent him right to the bottom right or bottom left corner of the turnbuckle. This is where he started shoulder bumping right onto the midsection of Ridge Holland. This is where he started hitting a big European uppercut right onto Ridge Holland. This is where he started rubbing his face right onto the middle ropes. This is where he started trying to break the eyes, but the referee was like, no, you cannot be doing that. Like you can get disqualified if you're not careful. This is where I was surprised, like, how come you're just allowing him to do this and get away with it? I mean, it's not like low blowing, but it's kind of like it at the same time. But this is where Wolfgang didn't try to go for a suplex on the Ridge Holland. This is where Ridge Holland started trying to get out of it. This is where he started trying to pull back and try to go for a suplex of his own, which it was at first it was slowly working, but even though he had some tough time doing the maneuver. This is where Wolfgang tried to go for a suplex to him, but this is where Rich Holland then tried to go for it for himself. But this is where Wolfgang did try to go up. This is where they started trying to go for a suplex off of seeing who's going to actually hit the move on their opponent. Which the fans were going crazy, start cheering for Rich Holland when he got Wolfgang up right off his feet and suplexed him back first. This is where Rich Holland's like, all right, like you're gonna get it. And this is where he clotheslines him out of the ring into the left corner side. This is where Rich Holland's like, yes, like I want back in my game. Like, come on, Dallas boys. Like you want a piece of this? Like you want some more of this beating Wolfgang? And then you're gonna like, and that's where he was like, you and you're next, like Mark and Joe, like you can get just like your best friend / brother. And then this is where he got him back in the ring. This is where he's continuing to do his beating onto Wolfgang until he got him until he intercepted and hit him with a headlock, and then tried to go for like a half snapdragon a headlock. This is where Rich Holland started elbowing him out of it. This is where he started hitting strikes right onto him. This is where Wolfgang then started going for a headlock once again. This is where he started hitting right hands to the face. This is where and I believe he beat him. I'm not sure what move it was, but because it was picture in picture. But yeah, I'd say I believe he hit his finisher, got the 1-2-3 on him. This is where he went on to Joe Coffey's brother Mark Coffey. This is where they started hitting, striking forearms right to each other, like until both men were red in the face. This is where not Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, his brother, didn't trip him over. This is where he started bending his leg back. This is where he started elbowing it and started striking it and started beating his leg with right fist. This is where he started stomping on it, and then bending it forward and back. This is where Mark Coffey then stalking the Gallus member. This is where he starts spinning around him. This is where he starts stomping on the left leg of the former Braun Brutes member. This is where Rich Holland was like, "That's all gonna give me. Give me more of this." And this is where Joe Coffey. Mark Coffey. I'm right. Well, I'm telling my I got it right the first time. But anyways, this is where Mark Coffey's like, "Okay, you asked for it." This is where he started hitting more forearms to the face, and this is where he started dragon screw twisting Rich Holland's ankle sideways where it should not be bending. No wrestler or human being in that fact should not be taking such pain, which Rich Holland was doing. Rich Holland was bearing, not just doing, but not because that's Mark Coffey was doing to him, which Rich Holland was bearing until he got out of it. This is where he was hanging on to the right corner side rope. This is where Mark Coffey to try to close on him out of there, but he gets elbowed instantly by Bridge. This is where then he went right to the upper right corner, but this is where Mark Coffey tried to close on him right through there. But this is where Rich Holland didn't move out of the way. This is where he tried to close on him, but this is where And this is where not Joe Coffey, Mark. This is where Mark Coffey didn't try to go for a crossbody, but he gets been caught and intercepted by Rich Holland. Hit him with a big swinging Uranagi. This is where he slowly but surely got back on his feet. This is where we got. This is where Rich Holland was like, "Come on, like give me a clothesline." This is where Mark Coffey tried to go for a clothesline, but he grabs on him, hits him with a running belly to belly suplex. This is where he goes for another one as soon as after he did like a arm lock version of it, but this was a regular version, which Rich Holland started improving by hitting this maneuver, and this time to make it more safer than his last experience like a couple years ago. But this is where Rich Holland tried to go for a big clothesline, but he gets punched right into the midsection. This is where this is where Mark Coffey then tried to run right to the right corner side, try to hit him with a clothesline, but this is where Ridge Holland hits a standing spine buster right onto the middle of the canvas. This is where Ridge Holland goes for a sidewalk body slam. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where this is where Joe Coffey pulls his legs. Like he would have gotten, Rich Holland would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling leader of the brother faction, like Joe Coffey, by saving his brother from getting embarrassed, taking a pinfall in an embarrassing fashion. This is where Rich Holland did not take that lightly. This is where he hit the big right hand, which made him did a cartwheel, and this is where Rich Holland then went back in the ring. This is where Vince Joseph was wondering why did the referee call for the bell, and then Byron Saxton's like, your guess is good as mine. But this is where Joe Coffey and Mark Coffey started stomping on poor Rich Holland, like when he was in the ring trying to fight both men. And this is where Wolfgang grabbed on the steel chair. This is where he started threatening the referee with that chair. I was like, I'm not sure if you should be doing that because you can easily get suspended, if not fired, for not trying to listen to the referee. In kayfabe, of course. So so what is up with your attitude of saying that you are running like this ring or the show or whatever? Yeah. But this is where they start beating him down, punching him right in the gut. This is where Mark Coffey, no, not Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, my apologies for getting the Coffey brothers mixed up. But Wolfgang and Mark Coffey was holding on the ridge. Joe Coffey grabbed on the steel chair, try to bam it right into Rich Holland's face, but this is where he kicked it right out of his hands, which I think some of it landed right to his face, like it went backfire. This is where Rich Holland started hitting punches and kicks right onto Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. This is where he started whacking both Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang's back first with that same steel chair that he tried to whack on his head. This is where he hits him right in the gut. This is where he swings him right back. This is where he swings it to Joe Coffey's back once again, sending the heel brother faction back to the locker room. This is where we got a backstage segment with Robert Stone and Von Wagner, which they were kind of disappointed because they were so close to winning if it hadn't been for that meddling Menza. And also and the rest of the metaphor by Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, which they unfortunately lost, of course. This is where they ran into a certain mysterious man that has the last name King, but it's not going to be the first time we're going to see this. I mean, it's not going to be the last time. This was the first time we've seen him on tonight's NXT, but it sure won't be the last. This is where he starts saying, hey, big guy Wagner. This is where Von Wagner's like, what the hell you want? And then this is where Alexis King was like, nothing, Von. Like, I just wanted to tell you like that the truth hurts. And the truth hurts, but as much as I love to swing around and start insulting you guys and poke fun at you your latest loss against the metaphor, but the King has much bigger and important business to take care of. And Mr. Stone, I just know your little boys are absolutely dead of looking up to a role model, a winner, and a star such as myself here. So I tell you what, Mr. Stone, and he was like, when my plans start, my plans start coming into reality and start coming through, I bring those two little brats of yours and learn a thing or two from the King. And then this is where Robert Stone was like, don't you dare talk about my kids or I'll mess you up. And I was like, yeah, I would believe Robert Stone, if don't ever provoke him like Von Wagner, and also don't bring up his kids in a very negative way, or else he's gonna give you a beating that you never soon to forget. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if we're gonna see Robert Stone taking on Alexis King next week or anytime soon after this confrontation. But let me know in the comments down below. But let's move on to the next slide. And this is where we got the quarter catch crew. Then checking out Noam Dar's Heritage Cup trophy. This is where Noam Dar and Ora Menza was freaking out. Like, hey, what are you trying to do with my Heritage Cup trophy? You treasure thieves. Like, and this is where like the quarter catch crew's like, whoa, we're not trying to steal. We're like, and what that ever came from? Like, what you assuming that we're trying to steal it? Like, no, we're trying to actually earn it. Like, and trying to win it fair and square. And this is where Noam Dar and Ora Menza was laughing like if they were telling a joke. But this is where Damon Kemp's like, hey, like, what makes y'all think that we're joking around here? Like we're. Whether you're gonna messing around with playing with managers, like in no quarter, like which Steve was the reference of being in this match with Von Wagner and his manager Mr. Stone. And this is where And then this is where we're gonna handle this like the correct way, like lads. And then this where no one. And then this is where Noam Dar was like, okay, whatever, like because like even if you bring a perfect impression for me, like and like whenever we have this match, like I'm at the end of the day, it's just gonna be another day, another successful defense, like my last victims, like Vaughn, just like Josh and others, like they're gonna be just like the rest of my victims. And this where they start. This is where and then this is where the quarter catch crew then walk out of the Metaphor's locker room, I believe it was. This is where Noam Dar's like, I'm winning, I'm gonna retain my trophy. This is where the North Quarter catch crew was like, yeah, we'll see about that. And then I was thinking, like, could we see somebody, someone like someone in the No Quarter Catch crew finally be the one that could end the reign of terror of the Heritage Cup, once and for all of the Heritage Cup of Noam Dar once and for all, or he's gonna hold that title until the lineage of the trophy is going to be until the end of the lineage will be officially over. But let me know about this in the comments down below, which I believe like someone like in the No Quarter Catch crew or Von Wagner should be the one and still hold on to the trophy without any kind of shenanigans from the Metaphor trying to weasel their way back of getting the title back. And even though as much as I'm very entertained by the Metaphor, I just think that if you're going to try to make it I include it as a championship title, like it should be like in a lineage for any wrestler that's like in the that's in the culture tournament, or like that's like in a culture European style matches, like with like whoever that loves like to win trophy belts, like or trophy championships or